there, Sam, is this is what we call our podcast broadcast, right? So, we're obviously on the FM side, but in between, then we could keep the conversation going and just on the video stream. So now we're live on the stream. I pre-recorded some stuff that we'll probably end our show with, talking more information, circling back of what we do. But we'll be back on the air just to kind of wrap things up with the bow, kind of, talk about, just direct people where they want to go, give them a heads up, kind of tips and tricks to have an ultimate, like, Tucson rodeo experience. You've been part of the Tucson rodeo for how long now?
11 years.
11 years, yeah.
Wow.
So you picked up a thing or two along the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
He said the NFL wasn't manly enough. He's like, I got to do something better.
I know, you just pivot from one manly event to another, dude.
It's like rodeo. All right, perfect.
Yeah. What's next? Bare knuckle fighting,
Commissioner of that, man.
Yeah, which that is a league now. Do you know about that? Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, it's a thing, and it's brutal. It's growing in popularity, though, thanks to social media. And now Conor McGregor is part owner, and it's
brutal.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fights that last like 2 minutes, so it's like perfect for like the TikTok generation because
their attention span's only so long.
Exactly, right? You're not going to get a 19-year-old to watch a traditional 12-round bout of, like, defense and combinations and, down to the judges. Like, there's none of these fights or like, a small percentage of these fights that actually go to the judges.
Wow.
And when they do go to the judges, they end up looking like Sloth from Goonies. I mean, it is like, they just won't go down. Yeah. In fact, I'll show you a quick little clip because it's worth noting here.
It's going to be next year. He's like, wow, they have bare knuckle boxing at the rodeo now?
Yeah.
Right.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right. Cowboy hats.
Between rodeo clowns or something?
That's what I
That'd
was
be
going to
great.
say, between specialty acts or that would be
Right.
a specialty act.
She says, Lance, the rodeo isn't just this weekend, right? It goes on next weekend as well. I believe so. We got the guy here to answer that.
Is that the case?
What was the question?
It says the rodeo isn't just this weekend, right? It goes on next weekend as well.
That's correct. So it'll start on February the 15th. So February 15th, 16th is our first weekend, and then we have a concert on Wednesday the 19th, and then we will pick up again on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday from the 20th through the 23rd. Now, we do have a thing where that's free of charge. You can come out at Slack. So Slack is where there's no frills to it, okay? It's where we run all the cowboys we didn't have time to get in during our performances. And what happens there is it's probably like 80 team ropers, just one right after another. Just send them, get them through.
Yeah.
And but it's still basically a full rodeo without the rough stock, because the rough stock, we can get all of those guys in.
Yeah, nice. Okay, and so then the grand finale then is happening not this weekend but next weekend.
Yeah, so the final Sunday.
Nice. All right, the rodeo days ain't this week then? Is it this week? Rodeo days?
For school?
Yeah.
No, it's coming up the week after this.
Oh, week after this.
Yeah, so
okay.
they get the Thursday and Friday off.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You need an app, don't you?
No, well, I guess I got my days a little confused.
I know,
but
same.
it happens. I'll show you this fight stuff real quick though. We got 18 seconds.
Saddle Bronco, right?
Okay, so I'll give this is just one example.
Oh.
Yeah, this bare knuckle. This guy's gonna go down.
He just looks British from behind.
Yeah. He's British. All these guys look like that. They're
Guy
just,
Ritchie extras.
Rock 102.1 KFMA. Well, welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. We're live on the air. I'm just showing Tucson Rodeo Chairman Sam Merriman some clips from bare knuckle fighting, because we said it was
As
like,
one does.
Yeah, we're like, you went from the NFL to being chairman of a rodeo. What's the next manly endeavor you're going to do? And then I suggested bare knuckle fighting. That's the only either pivot or to the side or step up.
Right.
All things manly, Sam knows for sure. And we were talking about the Tucson Rodeo, just to give an update, because I know that I somewhat spread a little bit of misinformation. It kicks off this weekend, and then it continues next weekend. The finals it will be next weekend. It'll be after Tucson Rodeo Days, or Tucson Rodeo Days where your kids are off school, as most of you know, will be next week. But things are kicking off this weekend.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Yes.
Yeah. So we'll be going full rodeo this weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. Regular schedule, nothing changes there.
Nice. Yeah, and how much do tickets run?
Ticket, especially like this first weekend, they're $20. They
Nice.
start at $20. That's a big purpose because we are such a community event, was making sure that it can be affordable for a family of four to come and come to the rodeo without breaking the bank.
Absolutely, because there's so many live events now. They're just priced out of the roof. It's like,
crazy.
yeah, I know. It's insane. And part of that is because the concert industry that has, inflated everything and other suits have followed. But yes, the Tucson Rodeo is a 501c3. It's a community type of organization. It's been around for 100 years, all to promote rodeo. And what was the origin of the Tucson Rodeo? Because I've heard it was... basically, it was for farmers. What was the?
I thought you said polo. We talked about the polo.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Remind me what it was. What we heard. The origin of the Tucson Rodeo.
I thought it was vaguely to organize the parade to kind of support the polo league.
Yeah.
Or some
And
other-
that's
I
it.
believe,
Was that
allegedly.
You both are
Skirting on the truth.
partially right.
true? Okay. Yeah. That's what we like. We like being partially right.
Uh-huh.
There was a man named Creighton Kramer
Okay.
that, from the East Coast and was told to move to the Southwest for health reasons, and so that's going all the way back to 1920s, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So he was a big polo player. So he had started a polo league here because they really didn't have one, and then they decided to have. He really loved this area so much. He wanted it to get tourism here.
Yeah.
So he goes, we need to have a rodeo. We see these cowboys doing all these kind of things. And so he created the very first rodeo. They actually had to turn people away. They had so many people come to the very first rodeo. But it was on a polo field. And,
Wow.
And, of course, we all know that English riders don't have a horn on their saddle or anything like that. So it was a little foreign to them on what this end of the country did.
Yeah. So they're getting bucked off left and right.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would watch a movie about this whole thing, honestly.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
real. That sounds great.
Well, it's great because it's just a large part of Tucson history, right? Yeah. And it continues-
And I'll tell you, the bare knuckle thing. So 1925, we have a woman in our rodeo, not as a barrel racer, as a bronc rider and a bulldogger, steer wrestler. Those were the two events she did.
Nice.
Damn.
Think of that in 1925.
Oh yeah. That's yeah.
She blazed the trail.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's badass.
That's crazy. There's so much. And where could I know there's a wagon museum, right? That's
Correct.
affiliated with the Tucson Rodeo. Do they have that information about the first, especially first decade or two?
Yes.
And some of the traditions, some pictures and history of people that participated in these events.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So it is a history museum as well as a wagon museum.
Yeah.
And if you just look up Tucson Rodeo Grounds or Tucson Rodeo Parade, we're on the same property. We're on 44 acres there at the corner of Irvington and South 6.
Nice.
They do have hours that they're open. I don't know if they charge to come in or not. If they are, it's very minimal. I know
Right,
that, so-
yeah. Yeah, that's great. That's a great place to take the whole family out, learn a little bit about the history of the roads that we drive down and, of all the different events and different businesses and history that have paved these roads. It's so, again, the Tucson Rodeo happening this weekend, kicking things off. TucsonRodeo.com to get your tickets for this weekend. And, of course, next weekend as well, along with the Tucson Rodeo Parade, but they'll be going into all different events, and they even have an event on Wednesday. This Wednesday or next Wednesday?
That's a week from this Wednesday.
A week from this
will
Wednesday.
be the concert.
Yeah, it'll be a concert at Stax.
Music festival. It's going to be in the middle of the arena, so
Nice.
it's going to go all day. So yeah, it'll go from 2 p.m. till about 10 p.m.
I love it. Yeah, the festivities kick off this weekend, but they literally last all week long. And of course, the championship, the final day, is going to be not this Sunday, but next Sunday. That's where they give out the big belt buckles and award all the best cowboys in the competition, cowboys and cowgirls in the competition over the past week. A lot of people come to participate from all over the country, I assume, right?
Yes, in fact, we really encourage our local contestants, but
Yeah, you got to represent.
Yeah, but 95% are from elsewhere in the country. Now, we are in the turquoise circuit, which means we represent Arizona and part of New Mexico.
Nice.
In our circuit, and that's to get to the NFR, the National Finals Rodeo.
Nice. Excellent. So, yeah, that's all part of the circuit. Well, Sam, I appreciate you coming in, giving us a heads up of all this information. It's been a pleasure, meeting and talking with you. We look forward to doing it again next year.
Of course, this was fun.
Of course. All right. And don't forget, go to TucsonRodeo.com, get your tickets today. We'll be back with more after music from Seether. Here's Bad Flower to kick things off with Detroit. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Excellent.
I see that phone going off, and I'm just assuming there's a text that says, "We got a wild Bronco wrecking downtown. It got out. It's like, we need you. Get over here now." I'm on the radio.
Yeah. All right, thanks again, Sam.
Yes, sir.
Everyone else on the stream earlier this morning, we broke down Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance. Went a little something like this. A picture here that you're going to see, Rico. This is the face of a man who knows he won a rap battle. It's Kendrick Lamar, photographed last night during his Super Bowl halftime performance, cheesing towards the camera. This, of course, was right when he delivered the line, "Hey, Drake, I heard you like I'm young." Now, that was the positive takeaway, and he obviously won the rap battle, but did he win over music fans, NFL fans, and hip-hop fans alike with his performance last night, as there was a lot of feedback going both ways and also a lot of call for change. Now, I am like a lot of people last night who were still had a bad taste in their mouth and was a little upset that Lil Wayne and New Orleans musicians didn't represent the city of New Orleans during the Super Bowl halftime show. Jay-Z, if you haven't known, he's been booking the Super Bowl halftime performers since 2019 as his Rock Nation agency announced a collaboration, a partnership. Since then, they did Kendrick Lamar in New Orleans, Usher in Las Vegas. The only Super Bowl performance in recent memory that I recall that they actually knocked it out of the park was Dr. Dre in Los Angeles, right? Because he's synonymous. And that was the same Super Bowl that Kendrick Lamar first appeared in and performed at. So he already had the experience of performing in a Super Bowl. I do not believe Lil Wayne has. If he has, maybe like a little cameo. But, a lot of people online were saying this should have been Lil Wayne's spot. Skip Bayless being one of them, saying, "I'm not going to watch the Super Bowl halftime show because I support my friend." He name dropped Lil Wayne. Yeah.
There you go, Skip.
All right, so here's a positive and negative feedback of Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime performance. There was widespread acclaim for powerful visuals and impactful messaging, and the use of Samuel L. Jackson without him saying the F word. That was impressive.
That was the most impressive part.
Yeah. I mean, it was on the tip of his tongue the entire time. He's dressed as Uncle Sam. His name is Sam. But then, he could easily just drop a hard F word right there on a global stage. And he didn't.
Right.
That's respect. Critics highlighted a blend of artistry and social commentary. The Associated Press noted the performance emphasis on societal perception and identity, with dancers labeled too loud, too reckless, or too ghetto. The Independent called it potentially one of the most important halftime shows in Super Bowl history. I didn't see that, even though, they emphasized the cultural significance, but that could have been said by a lot of artists, right?
Sure. It's funny because it's like one of those things you watch on the surface, you like it or you don't, and then people are like, if you didn't like it, you didn't get it.
Right.
And you got to spend an hour the next day looking through analysis and what you missed. Like, oh, okay, I see what he did there.
Yeah, I think the hardest part for hip-hop acts to perform at the Super Bowl is the self-censoring. There's so many words that he had to leave out, and it changes the entire texture of the song. The syllable, and also, the one thing that will circle back to, like, really dancing on Drake's grave. Kendrick started off with this message here. That was cold-blooded. And this was a direct response to Drake right here, who is currently involved in a lawsuit against Universal UMG. Okay? Now, Drake is suing the same company that he works with, alleging that they basically paid for plays on Spotify to boost the numbers. Now, he has a strong argument because he knows how the system works, because Universal UMG allegedly did the same thing for him and his career.
Interesting.
Right? Very interesting. But before Kendrick went into Not Like Us, and that was the song that everyone wanted to hear, in fact, the only song in the catalog that most America even knew about, the song that just won Record of the Year at the Grammys, Kendrick had this little message before he went right into it. Listen.
Yes, I want to make a move. I want to perform their favorite song, but they love to sue.
You hear that? I want to make a move. I want to perform their favorite song, but they like to sue. Straight up, all right? So that's what Kendrick said before he went into that. Now, that was a dig one. Then, of course, he's smiling and looking right into the camera while alleging that Drake is a pedophile without saying pedophile. He did censor out the word pedophile, but he did say, hey, Drake, I heard you like him young while doing this and looking directly into the camera, basically looking directly into Drake's soul.
I hit you like I'm young. You better like him go to sell black bun. The top woman they in love. Just make sure you have your little sister from her.
Yeah, so, and of course, you got the whole stadium yelling out A minor, too, because that's the only part of the song that most
Everybody's
people know.
aunt at the party knew that line.
Right, but he did smile when he looked into the camera. I was like, hey, Drake, I heard you like him young. And then cheese, right? Just like, got him.
Would you have paid a premium to see a live stream of Drake?
Yes.
That would have been great.
He should have charged for that. But I don't know if you noticed this or recall this. Did you see Serena Williams?
No.
Okay,
I saw this morning. I'm like, oh, she was there.
She was there sea walking during Not Like Us. You know why this is the final nail in the dagger dancing on Drake's grave? Drake and Serena Williams actually dated for quite some time.
Oh.
This was an ex-girlfriend.
Damn.
Yes.
That's deep.
The pettiness
He went out of his way to get her.
runs deep. Now, of course, she is famously from Compton, same city that Kendrick Lamar represents, but at the same time, you get your ex-girlfriend on a global stage sea walking on your grave. That's got to sting. That's got to sting
Bold
for
move.
sure. Now, the negative feedback from Kendrick Lamar's halftime show, viewers described the performance as unbelievably awful, expressed disappointment over the choice of Lamar as the headliner. Criticism was directed at Jay-Z, who oversees halftime performer selections, for choosing Lamar. I was mad at Jay-Z for choosing Usher in Vegas, knowing that the Killers probably would have made a better Vegas representation, and plenty of artists could have embodied Las Vegas. Usher, again, everyone was just waiting for the song, yeah. And in this case, Kendrick in New Orleans, kind of like the same argument, and everyone was waiting for Not Like Us. So the one real song, the catalog ran too deep for a global audience, in my opinion.
Right.
All right. Now, some fans mentioned audio problems and lack of engagement, but, it was all the self-censoring, and you couldn't really necessarily understand what he was saying in some parts, but I thought the choreography and the stage presence was good. There was a Reddit discussion that revealed mixed reactions, with some attendees reporting audio issues, while others praised the visuals, and the performance reignited. All right, we're back here on the podcast broadcast, Rock 102.1 KFMA, just wrapping up a clip from us reacting and showing clips from last night's Super Bowl performance, Kendrick Lamar, obviously, which went down, and to mixed reviews. And so we laid our argument there. But before, the world was captivated by the Super Bowl, the performances, the blowout to the game, on Friday, I was captivated by Love Island Spain.
Yeah, you were.
Yes. Now, I noticed it was trending on Twitter, and I was like, what is this all about? And so I went down the rabbit hole. Now it's all in Spanish, right? So I don't understand a word like what is being said, but I do understand the emotion that is being conveyed, and it was heartbreaking. Basically, there was a dude named Montoya, right? Forever Montoya now. My heart breaks for Montoya. And, before we get into this, happy birthday, Darlene. All right. So back to Montoya. Montoya and his girlfriend were contestants on Love Island. I don't watch the U.S. version of Love Island. I'm familiar with it. I get it. Super hot people in their 20s. They're all like they put on a tropical island and then they got to bang each other. I didn't realize there's relationships involved as well.
It just doesn't have that spice.
Yeah.
You need it.
It's like softcore porn, if you will. It's like Playboy's reality TV shows back in the day. So anyways, Love Island Spain, they take it to another level, right? So they bring in these couples and they throw all different types of temptation their way. And this is what I'm assuming is the premise of the show. Now, at one point, Montoya's girlfriend goes on a date with another Spanish lad who's hung like a mule and, super suave, as these Spanish dudes usually are. And they have a night in. And they're in the hotel room. Now, they probably know, or maybe they don't know, but there's a hidden camera in said hotel room with infrared vision. And that's where the host of Love Island Spain then sits down with the boyfriend and said, let's watch your girlfriend and this other guy hang out and see what might happen. Maybe she'll be faithful. Oh, no, she's banging him. And
on a beach television, mind you.
On a beach television. Now, I could explain this to you over and over again, or I could show you the clip that literally broke my heart into a million pieces. Now, what's interesting about this clip, by the way, which I will showcase on the stream, the clip that I'm going to show you translates like this: Spanish Temptation Island, Spain reaction video without the blank scenes, the F scenes.
Oh.
Now, I will show, I don't know if I can show those on the YouTube. Now, they were under the sheets, but basically to just kind of paint this picture, she jackrabbited this dude like crazy.
Right.
Yeah, so
Yeah. That
she
puts
was
it pretty plainly.
Yeah, she was trying to get to the finish line as fast as possible. That's what happened.
The guy looked like he was having a seizure, like a rabbit having a seizure.
Well, he was
under
just
a
laying
sheet.
there, living his best life. Montoya, in the meantime, crying and running at the same time with cameramen trying to chase him, and the beautiful host saying, Montoya!
Montoya!
No, Montoya, don't do it!
Okay.
Here, I got to play you this clip. Yes, and that's where other Love Island, Temptation Island contestants intervene. And
did he give him a bro hug at the pool? The other dude running up, he's like, "Bro, it's not worth it. She's not worth. Don't worry."
No, yeah,
I wonder what happened. I gotta watch now.
And this is like what's crazy about Montoya. And again, the world
He's emotional.
The world cries for Montoya. His heart shattered in real time, where you see him like physically break down. Look at this, dude. Ripped his shirt off. He went Hulk Hogan on his heartbreak.
That's what they do in Spain, dude. Yeah.
That's Hulk Hogan heartbreak, where
Spanish
you tear
Hulk
the
Hogan.
shirt off of your chest and scream out in utter agony. And so Linda, she says, for some context, for people that know how Temptation Island Spain works, they say, P.S. Montoya didn't cheat first. Anita did. And he had two other crash outs before that one running on the beach. So that was the third crash out, where he's just like, enough is enough. I'm tired of cucking out and seeing the woman that I love so much bang this super hot dude in front of me on night vision camera. Somebody's calling. We'll answer that phone line on the
hope it's
podcast
Montoya.
broadcast. Montoya, is that you? I'm so sorry, bro.
Hello, this is Tracy, the boob lady.
Huh?
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
The
but
boob lady?
Oh, it's the boob lady. Okay, we're keeping the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast, so we got more coming up after music from Beck. It's Rock 102.1, KFMA.
That's a good cliffhanger right there.
Yeah. Yes. Or what, do you hear
Did
at the
I
station?
call it an odd time and win something?
No, you called it at the wrong time and ruined my segment.
My Montoya segment.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. So, do you have the boobs here at the station?
I just wanted to let you know I'm on my way. I'll be there in about 20 minutes.
Excellent. Okay. Well, I'll be on the show, but someone will be at the front desk to welcome you in. Can't wait to see him.
All right. Awesome.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll get off the phone so you can go back to your segment. I'm sorry.
You're good. I'll talk to you soon. I can't wait to see him.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Yeah. So we got the KFMA boobs coming in this morning, which is
excited.
fantastic. All right. So yeah. So is that did your heart break for Montoya as well? I mean, I watched this. The jackrabbit scene, so brutal. So
The fact that you pulled this out during the Super Bowl, I'm like, has to be good drama here.
yeah, and was
And
it
then when
not?
it was better than the halftime
Yes,
show.
and when it cut to, I mean, this is an example. Well, no, when it cut to.
You're trying to find a GIF online so you can just play it over and over, the jackrabbiting.
Oh God! Because it's so funny. Because he's running. You see him running on the beach, and then it cuts to her banging the hell out of him. In fact, actually,
It's the best transition ever.
yeah. Here's the beginning of this. Why'd you pause? Don't you pause? Oh,
Did they cut it out?
oh, that's the end of the clip.
No, we got to find that.
I know. I have it. Don't worry.
I'm not leaving the studio until I see some jackrabbiting.
Yeah, so Montoya is really going viral in different countries. Temptation Island Spain, season 8 is having its Love Island moment.
This poor guy. Montoya's going viral.
Yeah, it's too late.
They're finished. They finished.
And they're done. And that's and this is the guy listening, but like, wait a second, is that Montoya? Is that Montoya coming right now?
Oh no, Montoya.
Yeah, I heard that. I fixed it, but yeah,
The fact that was playing over radio commercials is amazing.
amazing.
No. Well,
So-
I guess I won't go to Home Depot. Fine.
So yeah, on Friday, so universally, the world's heart broke for Montoya, and then after, of course, then his girl was like, "No, I still love you," and trying to hug him and stuff, and he just like, "Get off me!" And again, this is just what I'm assuming because I don't know a word that they're saying. I am just basically translating the emotion. And was that not epic television?
Are you gonna switch from the what's your show you watched, the challenge,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the Spanish Love Island?
Yeah, no, they
This is
got
the new
me. They
obsession?
got me on Love Island. Well, I mean, no, it's crazy too because it is triggering in a way for everyone who's been cheated on. So it does bring up old emotions.
We're all
You're like,
Montoya.
"Oh."
Yep.
We're all Montoya.
We're all Montoyas.
Yes, and so obviously I'm going to be Team Montoya in this situation. At the same time, I'll also team that guy in the bed because he seems
If
like he's got life figured
If
out.
I bought you a Montoya shirt, would you wear it?
Fuck yeah, I would. Customize
We'll talk to
that.
Valdez.
He's like,
We'll get it done.
"Oh!"
Yeah.
Like, I'm wearing my heart on the sleeve. Let's see. We're having trouble streaming to Facebook. This may be an issue on Facebook ends. Possible stream ended or deleted on Facebook. Basically,
Oh, you got-
got banned on Facebook. So
You got Montoya.
yeah. I had a feeling that would happen. Part of that was, of course, because of copyright. Part of that was because of porn. And I apologize, but there we go.
Little innocent dry humping. Come on.
They could have been. It was under the sheets. We don't know for a fact exactly what it could have been. But we know.
Right.
Oh, we know.
We're trying to be reasonable like Montoya. Like, they're not really doing it, are they?
yeah.
No, it's just Speedo. Just humping.
No, they're totally still. Oh, he's grabbing her butt. No, that's my
Mi
move.
amor.
Brutal.
Poor guy.
I know.
But thank you for catching me up. It's my new obsession now.
You're welcome. Yeah.
I'm more concerned about Love Island Spain than I am with, the economy or politics now.
Yeah.
All I pay attention to.
Well, it's not every day that we get to see the villain's origin story, right?
Right.
And so Montoya will turn into the Joker. We'll want to watch the world burn. And if you wonder why 10 years from now this maniac is just destroying city by city, it all starts with Love Island Spain.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just makes sense.
Yeah, and it's brutal. And again, my heart breaks for him for sure. It's a relatable pain. It's a universally relatable pain because that's a clip in Spanish that went viral all over the world in many countries that did not speak the language. But that pain, like I said, is so universal that they just knew. You know what's happening without knowing a goddamn word. You're like, oh my God. And they get away with a lot in Love Island Temptation.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, Spain.
I just hope if I ever get cheated on, I just want to have a beach near me so I can run.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm like, why run in the water park, dude? You know what I mean? Like,
TV, bro.
Yeah.
Cinematic.
Yeah. You can tell that they got to get better cardio cameramans there. They're having trouble keeping
Using
up.
that zoom lens a lot.
That guy was running like the Flash. That's how you get a guy running like.
My favorite part's when they cut to that close-up where it's just like that jittery camera, but it's his heavy breathing.
Yeah.
It's like pure drama.
Yeah. So it happens. You can get a guy to run like Usain Bolt if you're like, hey, this hot dude is about
In a
to shag your
Speedo.
girl. Yeah. You better get there
The
quick.
new treadmill video they put on there. Like, you still have time to make it to beat up the Speedo guy. Go.
Yeah. So our heart breaks
It does.
for Montoya. All right, we're gonna be on here in a couple seconds.
Poured one out for the homie last night.
Yeah, it's heavy. Let's do it, Florida man. Rock on 2.1 KFMA. We need a full cleanse of what we just talked about. But this show and all shows moving forward will be dedicated to our boy Montoya, and our heart breaks for you, Montoya. And you gotta look up Love Island Montoya on Twitter to see what we're talking about and watch for yourself. I know that we were streaming on Facebook, but the clip was too hot for Facebook and got banned from it. So.
Zuckerberg said no.
All right, we'll keep it in the theme and kicking off the week. Let's do a Florida man story to put a smile on your face. Let's do it.
Florida man, catch an alligator in the trash can. If you can't do it, no one can. Come on now, Florida man.
All right, when I tell you licensed masseuse, what's one of the things that pops into your mind? What's the first thing that pops into your mind?
A nice deep rub.
Okay. Well, I was hoping the answer would be happy ending.
Oh.
That's a cliche answer. You assume that a lot of these masseuse places, if you ask, say, hey, how much for a happy ending? It's cliche, and a lot of places don't do them. But some people in Florida will offer them without even asking. All right, that's the situation here with this Florida man who's a licensed massage therapist and now is locked up on a $100,000 bond for forcibly performing a happy ending on one of his male clients.
Oof.
Right now, this is not something that the male client wanted. He just wanted a massage, and he's like, "I know how to get you good." As it detailed in court records, this happened on December 29th. In Clearwater, Florida, where Hector performed massages at a skincare treatment place, right? Now, earlier that week, he moved to voluntarily relinquish his massage therapist license, first granted in 2016. The victim told cops that towards the end of the session, while lying on his back, Hector touched him. And the client believed this to be odd, but assumed it was a mistake.
It was a mistake.
Yeah, thereafter, however, Hector allegedly reached under the victim's underwear, grabbed it, and then started doing some more stuff that I can't explain on the radio. Let's just say it would cost a lot extra in some places if you wanted it, but this was a situation where the victim jumped up and was like, hey,
easy.
stop. Right? That was a sexual assault, and a forensic exam later revealed that the victim did have foreign DNA all in that area, so that was kind of like the smoking gun, if you will. And they charged him with a slew of crimes. And like I said, he is now in jail on a $100,000 bond. And this is a mugshot of the Florida man looking surprised here. Like, what? You
What did I
offer
do?
you offer to hook somebody up and you get charges for this? So there's Hector there, our Florida man of the day. And that was the PG version of our Florida man. I'll give you some of the nitty-gritty details on the podcast broadcast stream because, hell, we're already kicked off the Facebook page, so why not?
There we go. Full tilt, baby.
That's right. We got more after music from Nirvana and Foo Fighters on Rock 102.1 KFMA. You can join us, youtube.com/BeFegan, or keep it right here.
Can't wait to make that new graphic for you, the Too Hot for Facebook.
Yeah. Now,
They kicked off Facebook 7 times this podcast.
Yeah, so Hector basically was just like popped in his mouth.
Gee.
Yeah, essentially the thing. And then the guy's like, whoa, that's not what I paid for. And he's like, I'm licensed masseuse.
I know.
I'm like, what school did they teach you at?
School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do wonder, the guy was like, after, like, he's like, oh, is this happening? Like 10 seconds later, it feels good, but like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
No, Hector. What?
Exactly. Yeah. And Hector's like, don't worry, bro. It's only gay if you pay.
Right? This one's on the house.
That's right.
What?
The old gay if you pay defense always works.
I know I've been to places where that's definitely an option. I still remember. It still burns in my memory going in Tempe when I was walking, because I was living in Mesa at the time.
Uh-huh.
And I was like walking, I don't know if it was like the bus stop or something on the way to there or whatever. But there's like this little brick building that's like so nondescript. It's like this brick building has this massage on it. I'm like, you know what? I can use a massage today. But it's one of those buildings where you walk in, there's like a pre-room that has like a camera looking down you, like a door with a slot on it. And I come in, I'm just like with my backpack. I'm like, hello. And like this lady opens up and her eyes like all wide. And she's like, oh, hello. You need massage? And I go, yeah. And she's like, okay, do you have cash? I go, card. She goes, no. You need cash. Lots and lots of cash. She like smiled in her eyes. And I was like, okay, lady, I'll be right back. And I was like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
It's like, that's one of those places.
Straight up ho. And,
oh, yeah.
I know I have the place that's right down the street from me. It's on Alvernon, right by Speedway, and I know this has got to be a rub and tug place because the open sign is on late at night,
like 1:30 in the morning.
Yes, when I've come home late at night, I'm like, Jesus, you're still open offering massages?
Right.
Like that's
so kind of you guys.
Yeah, it's not the best, like the easiest way to advertise brothel. You know what I
right.
mean? Like
legal loophole.
Yeah. Who needs a legitimate massage at 1 a.m. on a Friday night?
Truckers, I don't know.
Yeah, dude.
Hard work and blue collar.
Yeah. I've never found out personally and stuff because I'm a licensed masseuse when it comes to, myself. And, so.
Do you want to do a man on the street, go ask awkward questions at these shady places at 1 a.m.?
I mean, they would think we're basically undercovers in that situation. And yeah. That's, I don't want to, look, like.
We're not here to,
We're not snitches,
we're not
dude.
snitching,
Yeah, dude. And it's like, I mean, I get it. It's illegal. But, everyone's got to do what they got to do to get by. So
Yep.
I'm not one to judge. And it's good to know that the option's there.
Right. Just comforting in case you're back to square one.
Yeah,
just good to know.
I've never done it. I've had a buddy who swore by it, but I've never done it. And, but at the same time, when I'm 60 and lonely, would I never do it? I
Right.
don't know. I'd have to ask future self that, and it depends if I can afford the sex robot or not. Right?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, yeah, that's where we're at.
I've always had friends that have done it before, and it's funny hearing them brag about it. They're like, "Dude, this one place, the girl gets on a rope and she goes." I'm like, "What?" It's like, "Yeah, it's great." I'm like, "Okay, it's not prostitution, yeah, but it's."
Yeah, but it's artistic prostitution.
There's a difference.
Yeah, and full service. I mean, if it could get the knot out your back and the nut out your front.
Yeah. That's a new slogan right there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm always coming up with catchphrases. All right, so Lynn said, I know exactly what you're talking about. I said the same thing to my best friend when I saw them open at not regular work hours. Yeah, and that's a thing. Police have to know this. Now, of course, there's been in Arizona, it's happened several times over the last 15 years where they've done undercover stings and completely ruined the investigation because cops were just willingly partaking and finishing. And I was like, I'm just investigating.
Yeah.
All right, blow me. I'm like, no.
Right.
You're not allowed to do that when you're building an investigation. It happened in Flagstaff.
It's so funny.
It was such a scandal. And of course, then, the masseuse, for lack of a better term, got off.
Yeah.
And that's what happens.
I just can't imagine these chiefs of these departments are just rubbing their temples I have to deal with this now.
I know.
All these assholes.
I know.
I should have got mine.
Right. You want to do a 5-star review?
Oof.
You can get that ready?
Sure.
Because I can record that right now.
Give me just a minute. I gotta email you though.
Yeah, email me so I'll share the screen. Where did you 5-star review this week?
Let me see. I think it's called Toast 101.
Oh, yeah. Toast is right by my house, too. Toast is pretty good. I got on the weekend, I was hungover on Saturday, and I went to Black Bear Diner.
Ooh, fancy you.
Yeah, picked up, because I was craving biscuits and gravy, and they have pretty good biscuits and gravy, but they had the thing where it's biscuits stocked, topped with homemade sausage patty, topped with eggs, topped with gravy. Hit the spot, dude. Hit the spot. And I mean a fat kid now because I have my meeting with Renewed Medical Health tomorrow, and whereas Svetlana says she's going to get 50 pounds off me. So, enjoy the fat kid lifestyle while I have it, and then maybe I'll be looking sexy by summertime. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, to be able to take my shirt off at the pool around a bunch of strangers being like, yeah, what's up?
Stupid sexy beef.
Yeah.
Stupid sexy Flanders.
No, sexy beef, just in time for contract renewals. Honestly, the better you look, the more likely you're going to get a raise or promotion or even renewed in a contract. So I'm doing it for us.
Chat out, baby.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep us employed.
Let's go shopping for tight shirts soon.
Yeah, well.
Just walk into the office.
Yes, yeah.
Hey.
And I have a THO problem. I always get titty hard-ons, especially if I have pecs, if I'm pectacular.
If you negotiate a nice contract with some hard nipples,
yes,
props
I would.
to you, bro.
Yeah, dude, they only get harder when you talk about increasing my pay. I'm getting hard right now just thinking about it. All right, let's get into this. You ready?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. As you know by now, my good friend Rico, he likes to go to various establishments, and when he has a good experience, he immediately rushes to Google to leave a 5-star review. You did that again this week, huh, Rico?
Absolutely.
All right, where did you review?
A place called Toast 101.
I know Toast 101 well. Tell me all about your experience.
I have to say I am saddened that egg prices have risen, but at the same time, I feel they're finally getting the praise they deserve, like the ugly girl in high school who had a glow-up 10 years later. This has apparently been driven by a severe outbreak of avian influenza that began in 2022. Can't they just put some airborne tablets in the chicken feed? Come on. This outbreak has led to the culling of millions of egg-laying hens to prevent the virus's spread, drastically reducing egg production nationwide. While I do enjoy me a viral video or two of crazy half-wits fighting in Walmart or Costco over who gets to fill their carts with an oversurplus of eggs like some dystopian poultry nightmare, the pain comes too close to home when you go to your happy place like Waffle House and see that they've now added a 50-cent surcharge to be implemented per egg. Gone are the days of flipping nickels on the counter and telling the toothless old man with scabs on the fryer that you'll have the usual. Now you have to text your accountant when ordering your Fiesta omelet at 4 a.m. drunk on wild turkey. They don't like that, but it's necessary now. Despite perpetually rising economic turmoils, I've come to believe that there is no price too high to pay for being a Chad in a sea of chuds. And eggs are the life force of Chads. What started as a curse, being forced to watch Beauty and the Beast as an adolescent with my cousins, turned out to be the biggest blessing that could have been bestowed upon my youthful naivety. I'll never forget the first time seeing a figure to emulate for the rest of my life. Dads were okay. They were busy working on trucks and doing 90s things like talking to neighbors and making money investing in early tech stocks. But then there was Gaston, the muscled and shiny-haired F-boy that set the tone for all F-boys in the future. And the recipe for success was evidently laid out in his first musical number. The song, and I quote, states, "No one's slick as Gaston, no one's quick as Gaston, no one's neck is as incredibly thick as Gaston, for there's no man in town as half as manly, perfect, and a pure paragon. You can ask any Tom, Dick, or Stanley, and they'll tell you whose team they prefer to be on." We can logically infer from those lyrics that Gaston is a man every guy wants to be and every woman wants to be with. But then, behold, he gives us the key to his holy Chadness in his lyrics. "When I was a lad, I ate 4 dozen eggs every morning to help me get large. And now now that I'm grown, I eat 5 dozen eggs, so I'm roughly the size of a barge."
Oh, wow.
This has stuck with me since childhood. And if you do the calculations, 5 dozen eggs equals 60 eggs. 60 times 365 equals 21,900 eggs a year.
Damn.
If you add in the current median cost of a dozen eggs to be around $8, then the ultimate alpha manliness cost a year for me would be about $14,680. Not adjusted for inflation or including sales tax. That is a small price to pay for being the ultimate Chad in these wild times. For the cost of a jet ski and a rifle, I can be schmanging everyone's wife and their sister every week. I needed somewhere to lay the groundwork and peacock my excellence. I went to Toast 101, a spot definitely above Waffle House, if even slightly. A hip, modern, well-lit, spacious, and warm atmosphere joint for sure. I was wearing my tightest red shirt and jeans, and with my chest pumped out, I told the lovely older hostess, "Your sturdiest table for one, my love," and then let out a hearty laugh. Her face remained blank, and then I followed her to a booth. I jumped into it and pounded on the table, letting out another hearty laugh. I saw the hostess whisper something to the young waitress who came over a little cautiously with a menu, and she said, "Hi, how are you this morning? My name is," and I go, yes, my dear. I won't be needing that menu. 5 dozen eggs in a bowl, please."
Oh, no.
I'm not sure we can. 5 dozen eggs in a bowl, please. Ha ha. She walked away, and then a man not as muscular came over, and I was claiming to be the manager. We had a 3-minute conversation where I refused to make eye contact, but because I was feeling forgiving, I accepted that I would be able to pay for 15 4-egg omelets and a large matcha latte to go. Some sorority girls and moms did watch me in fascination as I ate 1 whole omelet from the box mid-stride on the way out, though. So word will spread, and I'm looking forward to it. 5 stars.
Wow, that's and you never got the eggs, but
I got the omelets.
Oh, I'm glad that you didn't get that many eggs because it would cost you probably about $3,000 at this point.
It was a pretty hefty bill.
Yeah, but you do look pretty fantastic.
Thank you.
It's all protein, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Well, that's a real, actual, factual 5-star review that you can come across by Googling Toast 101. If you come across Rico's 5-star review, make sure you give it 5 stars as well. We'll hit the reset, be back with more Beef Vegan Presents right after this. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Clear.
Eggs.
Eggs.
It's a lot of eggs. It's a lot of protein farts, bro.
I can't believe you were quoting that much Gaston and Beauty and the Beast.
Hell yeah, dude.
Did you do that from memory?
Of course not.
Yeah.
Sadly.
No.
I did watch the YouTube video again. I'm like, yeah, that guy was a Chad.
He was total Chad.
Belle picked the wrong guy. She always went for the older, hairy, rich dude.
No. Yeah.
That's what happens.
I know, because money is that's the moral of the story. It's you could be butt ugly, but if you're rich and you have like a castle, they'll fall in love with you.
And emotionally stability issues,
Mm-hmm.
He was always angry, throwing things around. She's like, I can fix him.
Yeah, always.
I can fix him.
I
Meanwhile,
know.
Gaston.
Yeah, I mean, he was
Right
a dick.
there.
He was abusive. He was narcissistic.
Yeah.
but he was rich, and they overlooked him.
He had a nice house.
Had a great house, yeah, and that's just how it is.
Talking clocks, come on, bro.
So if you're out there listening, you're a single dude, and you're like, what can I do to get the woman of my dreams? You know, make bank, dude.
Yeah,
Simple. It's
easy.
obvious.
Done.
Yeah. It's the American way. Of course, it's going to be harder to make money, but I don't know. Maybe they're hiring off jobs off the Gulf of America. Speaking of Gulf of America, this is going to be ridiculous, but there was a museum in Alabama who spent $100,000 last year to name themselves the Gulf of Mexico Museum. And now they're like,
Really?
what the fuck are we going to do? Yes. So
They made a quick move, and they're like, let's just go with it.
yeah, $100,000. Last year, changing their name from to the National Maritime Museum of the Gulf of Mexico.
What the hell?
Yep. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. Before we get into OnlyFans news, because there's a couple stories I got to share with you about that. I was telling Rico on the podcast broadcast stream about the change. Of course, on the way you might have seen news stories break that the president signed another one of those executive orders.
Yeehaw.
Officially naming the Gulf of Mexico Gulf of America. Now, it's an odd situation because we named it here in America Gulf of America. It's not recognized by anything or anyone. It's not recognized by the UN. It's definitely not recognized by Mexico and not recognized by world maps all over. So will they eventually say, okay, fine, it's the Gulf of America? Probably not. Will it stay the Gulf of America for longer than 4 years? Probably not. Whoever comes in as president the next term, if they're Democrat, they're definitely going to do an executive order to change it back. So it's only just it's a weird flex and a weird time, but it does have repercussions to some people and organizations. In fact, officials at a museum in Alabama aren't sure what to do after they spent $100,000 last year changing their name to the National Maritime Museum of the Gulf of Mexico. Which, of course, is sitting on that Gulf. But, I don't know why it costs that much to make an official name change. But now they're screwed, right?
Oh, yeah.
No refunds, no takebacks. No one could have saw that coming. In fact, it was never one of the things that people were like, yeah, you know what you need to do? No one needed to do that at all. But it's been supposedly done and, again, recognized by one. So that's happening now.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. All right, let's get into the news that people want to know about. OnlyFans stuff. Now, yeah, what you know about Bonnie Blue, son?
Isn't she the one that did the 1,000 dudes?
Yeah, she was attempting to,
I thought she did.
She did. Not 1,000. Oh, yeah, she did. Yeah, 1,057.
Your mind's like, that can't be right. Wait, it's right.
Yeah, because there's 2 of them. There's a beef going on between Bonnie Blue and the blonde one. Bonnie Blue and her accomplishment of getting railed by 1,057 men in 24 hours has made her a well-known star on OnlyFans. And if you haven't had the pleasure of seeing the video, you're not going to. Because on OnlyFans, they reportedly pulled the video from the website after not being able to verify the ages of all 1,057 guys who took part in the body.
They didn't have a desk employee check everybody in?
Right.
Come on.
Yeah, see, just amateur. I mean,
Oversight.
It's amateur porn, but it's definitely amateur business moves right there. So Bonnie Blue is in a lot of hot water in this situation because, out of 1,057 guys, I'm sure if 1,057 guys go into a convenience store to buy a beer, one of those kids might have a fake ID.
Right.
Statistically
It reminds me of my
speaking.
grandpa in World War II where they had people lining up to join the military and they were not even 18.
Right.
Same thing here.
She had to skew young anyways because she's trying to get all that done within 24 hours. So the only way to really make this happen to where, it's you bring in the young ones who are 2 pump chumps. You can't bring a bunch of 40-year-olds in there who are going to be like, sorry, give me a minute before I get things going, right?
Yeah.
So you need the guys that are going to be overly excited in and then out. And I'm sure that's what Bonnie Blue did, but the problem is a lot of baby faces were in that mix and they could not verify ages of all of them.
Big yikes.
So now she's in hot water. All right, now moving on to other OnlyFans model news. It's like an updated Playboy mansion, sort of. 8 OnlyFans creators have teamed up to rent a Miami mansion to make content. And that's Aisha, Sophie, and Sophie Rain. So original. Signed a $70,000 a month lease on the compound in December, which I'm sure they're being welcomed to that neighborhood with open arms. They named it the Bop House, and they've had to hire security to keep all the pervs off the property and online where they want them. So was it a good idea for them? Definitely. With 3 million followers on social media, the Bop House reportedly brought in $15 million in January alone. And Rain said, we could afford a new mansion every single month with the money that the Bop House is making us. So this is a modern day entrepreneur right there. The Bop House.
The Bop House.
Yes. $15 million a month operating a cyber whorehouse.
Damn.
Times they haven't changed.
The Paul brothers could never.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're saying, wait, hold my dilly. Ridiculous. Oh, it looks like we're running out of time. All right. So I was like, instead of doing that, I guess we can go from OnlyFans news straight to beef tip.
Well.
Yeah. All right. Well, first off, thanks to everyone for tuning in. Tomorrow morning, we're gonna have another round of tap out. I believe it's Rocco coming in for a tap out tomorrow. Yes, I know.
Save me a slice, bro. Save me a slice.
That's
laugh.
Funny. No, it's Tucson Games and Gadgets, but it's still going to be great. So we'll be giving away $100 gift certificates for that. We're also going to continue to give out gift certificates for Adult Expectations, leading to our Valentine's Day broadcast at Adult Expectations on Stone from 11 to 1, doing our XXX games and giving out tons of prizes. So be ready for that. With that said, we'll also continue to give away tickets for the Tucson Rodeo and the Gem Show. Gem Show tickets up for grabs tomorrow.
A lot happening.
All right, but my beef tip is this. For all you collectors out there, if you are collecting, there are certain things that you need to stop collecting because experts have proven that they are not going up in value, and you might just be wasting your money. All right, with that, topping the list of things you need to stop collecting is Beanie Babies, obviously. Beanie Babies was a big deal for quite some time, but now they have zero value because everyone thought they were going to get rich collecting Beanie Babies. Pez dispensers, most vinyl records, most baseball cards, and your dad's old Playboy magazines. These are all things that have not increased in value, so you can stop collecting them today. Maybe declutter your house tomorrow, just in time for spring cleaning. So there you have it. All right. I'd like to thank everyone for checking out the podcast broadcast. Don't forget to subscribe. My apologies to Facebook for playing that clip. And we'll be back tomorrow bright and early. Till then, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later. All right, and I'm playing that. For the rest of you, though, I will end this stream with us catching up with Sam because we talked about the NFL and a bunch of fun stuff. I'd like to thank everyone for checking out the stream, as always. As well. You guys are awesome. Be back tomorrow morning with Mari and more. I was going to have Valdez in today, but Rico made him drink too much, and he's too hungover to wake up. So shout out Valdez. And every single day, I will send my apologies to Todd for effing up Friday. Todd, I welcome you back. Please come back. Fucking up. The 100th anniversary of the Tucson Rodeo Parade. It's a big one. It's happening this weekend, along with the Tucson Rodeo course, and that's what it's all about. It's a parade leading into the rodeo, kicking off the festivities, and we have in studio a very special guest. He is the chairman for the Tucson Rodeo, Sean Merriam.
Merriman.
Merriman. I can't read.
Almost had it.
Yes, welcome, Sean. Thank you. Or it's Sam. It's Sam Merriman.
There you go.
It's Super Bowl Monday.
We may want to start again.
Yeah.
Forget that, everybody.
That was Jimmy World. Welcome back to the studio. All right, no, it's the Tucson Rodeo going down this weekend. We were actually catching up with Sam because he told us, obviously it's the day after the Super Bowl. He actually spent 6 years on the Seattle Seahawks as a linebacker and roommates with Brian Boswell. If you remember the Boz, a legendary NFL figure in the late 80s with, of course, the mullet. I actually attempted to get his haircut when I was like 10 years old. It's a forever memory because the Supercuts lady butchered my hair so bad. It was not Boz-like. But Sam, welcome on the show. How long have you been chairman of the Tucson Rodeo?
Well, so the way we operate is I've only been chairman for 1 year, but it's a 4-year term. So what we do is we only elect a vice chair.
Okay.
And so you spend 2 years as a vice chair, and then you move into the chairmanship for another 2 years. So this is the first year of the chairmanship portion.
Nice. And are you a Tucson local, born and raised?
I am.
Okay.
I went to Amphitheater High School. And it was back in the 70s.
Yeah.
We had great football teams then, so that was
obviously.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's crazy when I look at all the high schools that have developed now around around the Tucson area that didn't exist when I was going to school here.
Right, yeah. Who were you playing against when you were going to school here?
Oh, a big rival would be at CDO because that was another amphitheater school district. But then Tucson High School was that's the longest going rival. Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, Sunnyside was always tough, and then we had Sierra Vista too. So it was a good league.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, and then where'd you go to college then?
And then I went to the University of Idaho.
Okay.
And went up there and started as a freshman somehow. I don't know how. I was really a skinny kid, and had really good 4 years there, and then drafted into the NFL.
Yeah, nice. Wow. Yeah, it was 6 years in the NFL. So do you like how the NFL has kind of evolved over the years, or what would you like? Yeah, what's there's always there's like players just like they're soft today. There's a lot of different rules that weren't around during your time, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I would say they're soft. It's become such a more specialized game, and the way they've written the rules of as a linebacker, of course, I don't like that because you have to pull off on almost every type of hit that we used to do day in and day out. So. That part of it is, but like I said, it's become a very specialized game, and when I look at the athletes out there, they're unbelievable.
Oh, of course, yeah, and that's part of the evolution, right? With the training, they know what to eat, and how to work out what muscles to be as fine tuned as possible. But yeah, when you were during your time, you were like a paid headhunter, right?
Sure.
You're going for the head. You're going for the knockout. Almost any hit that you could do, right?
Yeah. You wouldn't take cheap shots or anything. You never really wanted to put someone out of their career,
right?
But at the same time, you want to put them out of the game. You want to get them off your plate for the day.
Yeah. So. I want to hurt you just enough to where you're out till Monday. Then you're back at it, champ.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a delicate dance.
I love it. Well, also the Tucson Rodeo is always just such a big spectacular here in town, right? A tradition that goes back 100 years, which is amazing. We take a couple days off. The kids get school off. The only place in the entire country taking school off just to celebrate the rodeo. What can we expect at this year's rodeo?
Well, there's a lot of things from the fan experience that we've worked on, and if you look at the buildings and a lot of things that we're bringing in now, when you go to the actual rodeo, we are always going to be a traditional rodeo. We're never going to deviate from that.
Yeah.
So what you're going to see in the arena mostly will be what you normally see. What all around the arena on the outside is where most of it's going to happen. There will be a couple surprises because I don't want to say them because then they're not surprises anymore.
Right. Yeah.
But we are so excited. We've been working over a year building up to this.
Yeah.
So it's and now I'm like 4 days away, and so it scares the crud out of me, and then it excites me so much too. So
yeah. So let's talk about the fan experience then. So when do the fan experiences start? It's like right after the parade. They can go down there. Is it kind of like fair like in a way?
Oh sure. No, it definitely isn't. And I am. So before we have a weekend before the parade ever starts. So the parade's on that Thursday. We have a full weekend before that.
Yeah.
And I think just when you walk around and you do see the new buildings and. Again, some things that will be going on that will be free of charge. It's not going to cost you anymore, but it's going to be an experience that you haven't had there prior. So.
Oh, I love it, dude. Well, it seems like there's a lot of information that we got to get to, so we're going to continue this on the recording for our podcast broadcast. So stick around, Sam, because I got a couple more questions I got to ask you, but thank you for coming in on the FM side. Of course, Tucson Rodeo is going down this weekend. People can grab their tickets.
Yes,
yeah.
Go to TucsonRodeo.com.
And they got to do it fast, right? Because, those tickets sell out.
Our Sunday's almost gone, and our Saturday is working on that really quickly.
And you got a little VIP section, too, for people that want to dole out a little bit more. You get fancy cocktails.
We do, unfortunately. Those all have been sold out for months.
Always. Damn. This is what happens when you wait till the last minute, Rico. I tell you. All right, well, we're going to continue the conversation and start our podcast broadcast, youtube.com/beefvegan. All right, yeah, so I'll give you a couple more minutes before I get you out of here because, I knew the VIP tickets would be sold out. That's always the case. You're like, this year you got tons of people for the Tucson Rodeo parade that are Grand Marshals. You got all descendants,
yes.
So is this the first year that it's multiple Grand Marshals, or?
To my knowledge, it is. It's interesting because this family had contacted both the organizations, and when the parade said, well, we're going to have them for our Grand Marshal, I was like, that kind of took me back because I've never known it to be more than one person.
Right, yeah.
Or almost an organization is what it comes out to.
Yeah, no, it seems like a ton. Yeah, it's a whole lineup of grand marshals. But, 100 years, it is a tradition for one grand marshal, but all day we've been talking about change, and switching up traditions. Like my argument that I'm trying to start right now, a movement, but it's not going to happen.
You don't know. That's what they all say.
Okay, but you've heard before that people believe that the day after the Super Bowl should be a national holiday, so people don't have to go into work, right? Sure. Because most people call out sick. Over 22.6 million people actually is the stat that will call in sick today.
Wow, so like 7% of the population when you look at that.
Yeah, so I want to make the argument to just move the Super Bowl to Saturday. Right? Because, I know there's traditionalists out there that are like, it's always been on a Sunday, but there's been lots of organizations who have, moved their annual events from a Sunday to a Saturday and immediately saw an increase of revenue and audience. And WWE was my example. And then I even doubled down on an example as far as like traditions are concerned, because I know we get stuck in a way of it's like, no, this is what we grew up and this is how we've enjoyed the game. But we also grew up calling the Gulf of Mexico. And now it's like apparently that's a new thing
it's
too.
The Gulf of America, apparently.
Yeah, so change can happen, and that's a constant. Would you be upset even having skin in the game, being an alumni of the NFL? Would you be upset if they moved it from Sunday to Saturday?
No, I definitely wouldn't say upset.
Yeah.
I just find it's an interesting concept. What if I work Sunday, though? So,
Yeah, well, you gotta call in sick,
He's
though.
like, we don't care about
well,
you.
I think you have church people, you have people like that may
That's true. That's
may
true.
argue it too.
Well, they'll do the later service or go Wednesday.
night
you know,
mass.
yeah,
You can do that.
Yeah, Jesus knows you put in your time. Now go watch the game.
We'll do a halftime sermon. Like I'm happy.
Yeah, no longer a band. We'll just have a sermon.
I love it, dude. Well, yeah. So we're telling people all week long, and actually for a few weeks, go to TucsonRodeo.com, get those tickets, and before they sell out Sunday. Of course, Sunday for the rodeo, it's a competition that happens all weekend, right? So on Sunday is basically the final round to crown your like rodeo champ and all that.
Yes, so that's exactly what happens. We go. We have 5 days up to that point, and then the sixth day is who we invite back. So it's our top 12s in each one, and that's where the real money is. That's where the buckles are won and things like that. So,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I was gonna say 2 years ago, my buddy he's from Arizona, but he lived on the East Coast for quite a while, like New York. He just misses Mexican food, so he visits back every once in a while. 2 years ago, I think we're across the street getting tacos, and we look across. We're like, "Hey, the rodeo's going on. You want to go check it out?" And we just stumbled over there, and after that, we were just like, "That was the best thing we've ever done."
That's so
like
cool.
it was so fun. It was a random.
That's great to hear.
It was great. We had tickets. We went in there. We just had the time of our lives, just walking around, watching the show. We're doing it again.
And people watching too. It's a good people watching place. Because
it's fantastic.
It's like I say, everyone can go there and be a cowboy for a day.
Yeah. Yellowstone ended, so now that's all we have. So we're just like, got to get our cowboy in.
Exactly.